Her Korean stepmother mocked her, rejected her, and erased her from the family. So why did she show up to the reunion they never expected her to survive? The night Nia Johnson was thrown out, it snowed. Not softly. Not beautifully. It fell hard, like the sky itself had turned against her. At 17, Nia stood in the grand hallway of the Han mansion, clutching a small, worn duffel bag. The marble floor beneath her feet gleamed, reflecting the chandelier above, the same chandelier she used to stare at as a child, pretending this place was home. But tonight, there was no pretending. "You heard me, Mrs. Han said, her voice smooth, controlled, and cold enough to freeze the room. "You can't stay here anymore." Nia's fingers tightened around the bag. Why? That single word held years of confusion, years of trying to understand why she was never enough. Mrs. Han sighed as if she were tired of explaining something obvious. "Look at you, Nia. Do you really think you fit into this family?" Nia didn't answer. Because she already knew the truth. She never had. Behind Mrs. Han stood her father, Mr. Han. A powerful man in public. A silent man at home. He avoided Nia's eyes. "Dad," her voice broke slightly. "Say something." He shifted uncomfortably, his jaw tightening. For a moment, it seemed like he might step forward, like he might finally choose her. But he didn't. "This is, for the best," he muttered. And just like that, something inside Nia cracked. "I did everything right," she whispered. "I studied. I stayed quiet. I tried to be who you wanted me to be, Mrs. Han's lips curled faintly. "That's the problem. You tried." Silence swallowed the room. "You're a reminder," Mrs. Han continued, stepping closer, "of a past this family has moved on from. Of mistakes that don't belong in our future." Nia's throat tightened. Mistake. That's what she was to them. Mrs. Han gestured toward the door. "Leave the key." Nia slowly pulled the house key from her pocket. Her hand trembled, not from fear, but from the weight of what this moment meant. If she dropped that key, she was truly alone. She looked at her father one last time. Ill wouldn't meet her eyes. That hurt more than anything. The key hit the marble floor with a soft, final sound. Nia picked up her bag and walked out. The cold hit her instantly. Seoul's winter didn't care about broken hearts. Snow crunched beneath her shoes as she stepped onto the empty street. No car. No driver. No plan. Just silence. And survival. That first night, she slept at a bus stop. Curled up on a hard bench, hugging her bag like it was the only thing tethering her to reality. Her stomach ached from hunger. Her eyes burned from unshed tears. But she refused to cry. Not for them. Not anymore. "I'll come back," she whispered into the cold night. Not as a victim. Not as someone begging. But as someone they would regret losing. The next 13 years didn't build Nia. They forged her. At 18, she worked in a convenience store, enduring rude customers and long shifts for barely enough pay. At 19, she cleaned offices at night, watching executives live the life she once had, while she scrubbed their floors in silence. At 21, she got rejected from jobs over and over again. Too foreign. Too different. Not the right image. But Nia adapted. She learned. Observed. Calculated. By 23, she started a small logistics business using borrowed money and pure determination. She failed twice before she got it right. Each failure nearly broke her. Each time, she got back up. By 26, her company began to grow. By 28, she expanded internationally, America, Asia, Europe. By 30, Nia Johnson became a force. She wasn't just wealthy. She was respected. Feared. Untouchable. And yet, there was one place she had never returned to. The Han mansion. It arrived on a quiet evening. An elegant envelope, cream-colored, sealed with gold. Nia stared at it for a long time before opening it. Inside, Han family reunion. And beneath it, a handwritten note. It would be amusing to see how life has treated you. Join us, if you can. Nia let out a soft laugh. Not because it was funny, but because it was exactly what she expected. They hadn't changed. They think I'm still that girl, she murmured. The girl at the gate. Cold. Broken. Powerless. Her assistant hesitated. Should I decline it? Nia closed the invitation slowly. Her eyes sharpened. No. A pause. Then. Prepare the phantom. The Han mansion had never looked brighter. Golden lights illuminated the massive estate. Luxury cars lined the driveway. Laughter echoed through the halls. To outsiders, it was perfection. Inside, it was pride dressed as elegance. Mrs. Han stood at the center of it all, draped in an expensive gown, her smile flawless as always. Are you sure she'll come? One guest asked. Mrs. Han smirked. Curiosity always wins. Another guest chuckled. It'll be interesting to see what became of her. Probably nothing, someone added. Laughter followed. Then, the gates opened. A Rolls-Royce Phantom slid into the driveway like royalty arriving. Not flashy. Not loud. Just undeniable. The murmurs started instantly. That car. Who is that? The driver stepped out first, moving with quiet professionalism. Then he opened the back door. A heel touched the ground. Then another. Nia stepped out. She didn't rush. Didn't look around nervously. She owned the moment. Her dress was sleek, minimal, and impossibly elegant. Diamonds rested lightly against her skin, catching the light with every step. Her hair framed her face perfectly. Her expression? Calm. Untouchable. Inside, the laughter died. Mrs. Han's smile disappeared. No, she whispered. Nia walked through the doors. Every step echoed. Every eye followed. Nia, Mrs. Han forced a smile. You actually came. Nia tilted her head slightly. You invited me. The air shifted instantly. Her father stepped forward, visibly shaken. You look. He couldn't finish. Because the girl he remembered was gone. A businessman suddenly stepped closer, eyes wide. Wait, you Nia Johnson. Silence. You're the CEO of Johnson Global Holdings. The room froze. Nia met his gaze. Yes. And just like that, everything changed. Whispers spread like wildfire. That Nia Johnson? The billionaire? No way. Mrs. Han's composure cracked. Her lips parted slightly. For the first time, she looked unsure. You never told us, she said. Nia's response was instant. You never cared to know. Dinner became tense. People who once would have ignored her now leaned in, eager, respectful, careful. Too careful. Compliments came. Fake smiles. Hidden desperation. But Nia noticed everything. Every glance. Every shift in tone. Every trace of regret. Then came the toast. Mrs. Han raised her glass. To family, she said smoothly. Nia let out a soft breath. Then stood. Family, she repeated. The word hung heavy in the air. Family doesn't throw a child away, she said calmly. No shouting. No anger. Just truth. Her father looked down. Ashamed. You invited me here to see if I was still broken, Nia continued. A pause. Then. I'm not. She placed a document on the table. I own controlling shares in Han Corporation. Shock exploded across the room. Mrs. Han staggered slightly. That's impossible. Nia's eyes didn't waver. You taught me something valuable, she said. To survive without you. Silence. Heavy. Crushing. I could destroy everything you built, Nia added. Mrs. Han's breath caught. But I won't. That surprised everyone. Nia picked up her glass, then set it down untouched. I don't need revenge, she said. I already won. She turned toward the door. And walked away. No drama. No breakdown. No looking back. Because the greatest revenge was becoming someone they could never reach again. Outside, the Rolls-Royce door opened. Nia stepped in. As the car drove away, she looked out at the mansion one last time. Not with pain. Not with anger. But with closure. The girl they rejected was gone. And the woman she became was untouchable.